friends, welcome you all to my channel GS Nagri. Today I am here before you with these current affairs which are in English. They are the all important current affairs have been covered here, and if you find anything is missing, then please just tell me in the comment section, and just press the like button if you like it and press the dislike button if you don't like my video. So let's start with today's current affair. First is Sandeep Kumari banned for 4 years for failing the dope test. World Anti-Doping Agency WADA has banned Indian discus thrower Sandeep Kumari for 4 years after failing a drug test. National Dope Test Laboratory NDTL has failed to detect the banned substance steroid which was present in her blood sample. This blood sample is collected by NDTL officials during the Interstate Championship in June 2018 in Guwahati, Assam, where Kumari has won the gold medal with a throw of 58.41 meters in the competition. So let me tell you now what all is important in this current affair that can be asked. First is the full form of WADA. It is WADA. We say it World Anti-Doping Agency. It is WADA. And then NDTL, National Dope Test Laboratory. This is important. What is NDTL? It is National Dope Test Laboratory. Then Sandeep Kumari. Who was she? She is a Indian discus thrower. Okay, who is Sandeep Kumari? She is Indian discus thrower, and then she was banned for 4 years because she took the drugs. Then how it came to be known? In the year 2018 June in Guwahati and Assam, when the interstate championship was being held, then NDTL took the blood samples of Sandeep Kumari and then tested in the lab. Then it could not detect. It has failed to detect the banned substance as steroid, and then this sample was sent to this World Anti-Doping Agency. They found the blood sample to be positive. Then they banned this Sandeep Kumari for 4 years. And Sandeep Kumari in that interstate championship, she won the gold medal with a throw of 58.41 meters in the competition. Then World Anti-Doping Agency WADA referred Kumari's result management to Athletic Integrity Unit AIU, which notified her of the charges and provisionally suspended her in November 2018. In Feb 2020, the Athletic Integrity Unit issued a notice of charge to Kumari asking her to either admit the ADRV anti-doping rule violation or undergo a hearing before the disciplinary tribunal. After missing 3 deadlines to respond, Kumari finally accepted the charge and did not request a hearing. Means World Anti-Doping Agency, after it found Kumari guilty of taking the steroid, it just reported the matter to whom? Athletic Integrity Unit AIU. Athletic Integrity Unit notified Kumari of the charges that she would be applied because she was found guilty of taking steroid and suspended her in November 2018. In February 2018, Athletic Integrity Unit issued a notice of charge that Athletic Integrity Unit, she issued a charge to Kumari and asked her to either admit, either she should agree that she has taken the dope steroid, or she should go to a court for a hearing. Then she missed the 3 deadlines, and finally she accepted the charge and did not request a hearing. Then the important takeaways of this in this current are, that is headquarters of WADA means World Anti-Doping Agency. It is present in Montreal and Canada. Then the president of WADA, it is Witold Banka. And then moving on to our next slide, that is Prime Minister takes part in online summit of NAM contact group. Our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he took part in online summit of NAM. The full form of NAM is Non-Aligned Movement NAM Contact Group. Non-Aligned Movement NAM Contact Group. The summit was held with an objective. The objective of this summit was to discuss response to ongoing COVID-19 pandemic crisis, as well as to promote international solidarity in the fight against COVID-19. The summit was hosted by current chairman of NAM, President of Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, with the theme of United Against COVID-19. The theme of this summit was United Against COVID-19. Now, what is important in this current affair is that the summit objective of the summit was what? The objective of the summit was to discuss the response to ongoing COVID-19 pandemic crisis. Means due to COVID-19 pandemic, as we all know, this whole entire world is suffering from the crisis. So the objective of this summit was how to improve on this crisis and how can just and we just cut down the crisis of this entire world. And this summit was hosted by whom? This summit was hosted by President of Republic of Azerbaijan, Echi Ilham Aliyev, with the theme of United Against COVID-19. What was the theme of this NAM? The theme was United Against COVID-19. This is very important. Then moving on further, Dr. Harshvardhan launches multimedia guide COVID Katha. Our Union Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, first of all, this what is important is that who is our Union Health Minister? It is Dr. Harshvardhan. Then he has launched a multimedia guide on COVID-19 disease named as COVID Katha. Okay, the multimedia guide launched by Dr. Harshvardhan is COVID Katha. The guide is launched on the occasion of, when was this guide launched? This guide was launched on the occasion of 50th DST. What is the full form of DST? It is Department of Science and Technology Foundation Day. So let me read out once again and tell you what is important. The important thing is that who is Union Health Minister? It is Dr. Harshvardhan. First of all, this is important. Then what is the name of the multimedia guide that he launched? It is COVID Katha. When was this launched? It was launched on the 50th DST, that is Department of Science and Technology Foundation Day. Then moving further, what this COVID Katha comprise of? Means I'll be telling you what is the aim of making this multimedia COVID Katha. First of all, the main aim of making this COVID Katha is to provide consolidated and authentic information on the global crisis, to provide a very trusted information, as we all know that we are getting fake news from all our online material. That means that this COVID Katha, it provides authentic information that is proved on based on the global crisis, the crisis that is going on in the entire world, to the masses in an interesting and interactive to the masses, means to the people of the world, a global crisis to the people of the world that is going on in an interesting, it tells all this in a very interesting and interactive mode. The National Council of Science and Technology Communication, the first of all you should learn the name of this organization, National Council for Science and Technology Communication, and then along with the Department of Science and Technology DST, means we can say NCSTC along with DST, that is Department of Science and Technology, along with Government of India in association with Dr. Anamika Ray Memorial Trust, ARMT, that is an educational and research organization. They have together brought this multimedia guide carrying information, important information on A to Z of COVID-19. Means three organizations, that is number one is NCSTC, number two is DST, and third one is Government of India in association with Dr. Anamika Ray Memorial Trust, that is ARMT. First one is NCSTC, second one is DST, then what is all happening? First one is NCSTC, second is DST, and the third one is ARMT. These three organizations, they have together brought this COVID Katha, which is a multimedia presentation which gives the entire information about COVID-19, and out of which it can also be asked that what was the name of the educational institute that has participated in making this multimedia presentation. The name of this educational institute is Dr. Anamika Ray Memorial Trust, ARMT. It is an educational and research organization. It has brought out multimedia guides. Okay, and what are other important takeaways of this exam? Important takeaways of this exam others will be the Department of Science and Technology, DST, is a department. First of all, I have told you earlier, three organizations that have participated in making this multimedia presentation, in which I told you Department of Science and Technology. So let me tell you that DST, that is Department of Science and Technology. It is a department within the Ministry of Science and Technology in India. That is, it is not a separate department, it is under the Department of Ministry of Science and Technology in India. Then next takeaway of this exam is DST founded. Who founded this department? Department of Science and Technology. It was founded, who founded it? When was it founded? It was founded in May 2017. And then where are the headquarters of DST located? It is located in New Delhi. So moving further, Himachal Pradesh government to start Mukhyamantri Shahri Rozgar Guarantee Yojana. The government of Himachal Pradesh, it has declared to start Mukhyamantri Shahri Rozgar Yojana. Now let me tell you some things, important things of this Yojana, or some things related to this Yojana. They are that in this Yojana 120 days assured employment will be provided to all the people living in the urban area. This according to this Yojana, 120 days assured employment will be provided to all the people that are unemployed, uneducated. They will be provided the employment in the urban areas, यानी कि शहरी क्षेत्रों में. It is being launched to revive the coronavirus hit economy of the state. This Yojana is launched to overcome the economy that has hit our country, our economy's crisis. We are going under economy crisis. To revive that economic crisis, this Yojana has been launched by Himachal Pradesh government. Adequate training will be given for this to provide that employment. Adequate training will be given to the people for their skill upgrade if required. If the people don't know about their job that have been given to them or the employment that has been provided to them, then they will be provided with the adequate training. With this adequate training, the cabinet has also decided to provide an assistance of rupees 2000. The cabinet of Himachal Pradesh, it has decided to provide an assistance of rupees 2000 to each of 1 lakh workers that have been registered in the government office under the Building and Other Construction Workers Board. Now the important takeaway of this current is that who is the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh who has brought this scheme, Mukhyamantri Shahri Rozgar Guarantee Yojana. The name of the Chief Minister is Jairam Thakur. This is important. Then who is the governor? It is Bhandaru Dattatreya. Then moving on to our next current. AMIO rolls out video KYC engagement platform for banking sector. Guys, you all know that KYC that is needed for online transactions. You all do that Paytm, cash wallets and UPI. We need KYC. Then there have been a modification that has been made in this KYC thing. A customer engagement technology provider, AMIO. What is AMIO? It is a customer engagement technology provider. What we need to learn in this is that what is AMIO? It is a customer engagement technology provider. It has launched video KYC engagement platform for the banking and finance sector. The newly launched platform will eliminate the business requirement of physical KYC in accordance with latest RBI guideline issued in January 2020. It is expected to decrease the customer onboarding process from the percent 5.7 5 to 7 days to less than 3% to less than 3 days. That is this KYC, first of all it needed a travel agent that used to travel to you and then do all the documentation process, but now the KYC that AMIO has launched video KYC engagement platform in which you can do online verification process through a video. So this will decrease the time for the verification from 5 to 7 days to less than 3 minutes. And it has been done according to the latest RBI guidelines in the January 2020. Then moving to the next, this platform ensures the business to reduce, if we do anything online, then it will reduce the documentation cost, it will reduce the paper cost and the travel cost of the travel agent. So it will reduce the cost from 90% to up to 20%. This reduced KYC completion drops up to 20% by reduction in operation cost by 90%. The cost reduction will be up to 90%. and enterprises grade security like AES encryption has been used in this platform. What has been used? Security system AES 256 has been used, which enable banks and mobile wallets and NBFC to be 100% compliant with the RBI guidelines. It is all 100% safe. Now you can verify your KYC online, and the cost, it will be very cost effective and will reduce your cost up to 90%. Important takeaway of this exam is the chief executive officer of MU is Vishlal Lachiramaka. Then moving to next slide, Egypt tennis player Yusuf Hossam gets lifetime ban from TIU. The Tennis Integrity Unit, first of all the full form of TIU is, it is noted here, the Tennis Integrity Unit, this is the full form of TIU. It has banned the tennis player of Egypt tennis player Yusuf Hossam. The name of the tennis player is Yusuf Hossam. He from professional tennis for life. He has got a lifetime ban from tennis. The name of the player is Yusuf Hossam. He is an Egypt's tennis player, and he has been banned by whom? He has been banned by TIU. Then he has been banned from the game following his conviction on multiple match fixing and associated corruption charges. He has been banned because he has been claimed that he has done very multiple match fixing, and he has been associated with many of the corruption charges. These corruption charges have been laid on him, and many match fixing charges are there. Egypt tennis player Yusuf Hossam has been found guilty of 21 breaches, which include 8 cases of match fixing. This include 8 cases of match fixing, 2 cases of soliciting other players not to use best effort, as well as 2 failures to cooperate with TIU investigation. Means that 8 cases of match fixing, he has done match fixing 8 cases 8 times, and the 2 cases of soliciting other players means he has said other players not to play well and not to use the best of their effort so that they can win, and other 2 cases have been opposed on him because he did not cooperate with the investigation of TIU. He has not cooperated to investigate them the matter properly. Then Indian journalist wins Pulitzer Prize 2020 in featured photography. First, let me read out this news, and then I will tell you what is this Pulitzer Prize. Okay. First of all, you must know that Indian journalist wins Pulitzer Prize 2020. Then now let me tell you what is Pulitzer Prize so that you can understand this current better. This Pulitzer Prize, this is given to the journalist and to the newspaper editors for their good work. And this is not written. If you want to write, just note it down. I'll be telling you the history of this Pulitzer Prize, that when was it started, and why is it named Pulitzer. First of all, this Pulitzer Prize, it was established in 1917. In 1917 this was established. Why it was established? It was established by provision in the will of Joseph Pulitzer. Joseph Pulitzer wrote in his will that he wanted such a prize ceremony to be held. So after his reading out his will, this Pulitzer Prize was established in 1917. Now you must be very curious to know that who was this Joseph Pulitzer. Joseph Pulitzer, he was a newspaper publisher and administered by Columbia University. He was a newspaper publisher, and this Pulitzer Prize, this is administered right now by Columbia University. Now let's move to our current. I hope now you will get to know about this current better. And I have told you about Pulitzer Prize, what it is. It is given to the journalists and media people for their good work. It has been established in 1917, and this prize is administered by Columbia University, and this prize has been named so on the name of Joseph Pulitzer, who was a newspaper publisher. Now moving to the current, Indian journalists, namely Dar Yassin Mukhtar Khan and Chani Anand, have been honored with 2020 Pulitzer Prize. What is important in this current is that Dar Yassin Mukhtar Khan, Chani Anand. They have been honored with 2020 Pulitzer Prize. Now, these journalists have won the award in the field of feature photography. They have got the award in field of feature photography. This is important. All the three journalists belong to Associated Press. These three journalists, Dar Yasin, Mukhtar Khan and Chani Anand, they belong to Associated Press. They have been awarded for the lockdown coverage. They have been awarded because they did the coverage of lockdown in a very better way. Then the Pulitzer Prize that the Indian journalists have been awarded for the contested territory of Kashmir as India revoked its independence executed through communications blackout. Pulitzer has also said that Indian journalists, they have carried out their work very well in the contested territory of Kashmir when this NCC and all this was held. So they carried out their journalism very well through a communication. When there was a communication blackout, the people could not communicate to Kashmir people, then they carried out their work in a very well manner. The Pulitzer Prize is considered as the highest honor. It is one of the highest honor that United States based journalists and organizations can receive. It is one of the highest honor जो US state based journalists and the media people in the United States can receive. It is the highest award to them. Here is a complete list of winners. Number 1, Public Service Anchorage Daily News with contributions from ProPublica. Then number 2, Breaking News Reporting Staff of the Courier General Louisville KY. Third, Investigative Reporting Brian M. Rosenthal of the New York Times. Then 4, Explanatory Reporting Staff of the Washington Post. Then 5, Local Reporting. Then 5, Local Reporting Staff of the Baltimore Sun. Then 6, National Reporting Dominic Gates, Steve Milchett, Mile Baker and Louis Camp of the Seattle Times. Then 7, International Reporting Staff of New York Times. 8, Feature Writing Ben Tuab of the New Yorker. 9, Commentary Nicole Hannah Jones of the New York Times. 10, Criticism Christopher Knight of Los Angeles. 11, Editing Writing Jeffrey Gret of the Palestine. Then 13, 15 you can read it out because I don't think so they are much important, but it is necessary to mention. If you want to know, just you can go through it. Then these are some more. What is important in this, I will read you out. First is fiction The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, Doubleday. Then the important one is this History Sweet Taste of Liberty, a true story of slavery and restitution in America by W. Caleb McDaniel, Oxford University Press. This is important, this can be asked, so you should just remember it nicely. Then Poetry, The Tradition by Jericho Brown, Copper Canyon Press, and this is also important. Biography, Sontag, Her Life and Work by Benjamin Mozzarico. Then 21st is general non-fiction, The End of the Myth, From the Frontier to the Border Wall in the Mind of America by Greg Grandling. And The Undying Pain, Vulnerability, Mortality, Medicine, Art, Time, Drama, Data, Exhaustion, Cancer and Care by Annie Boyer. Then moving on to our next current affair. This is FINA postpones 2020 World Championship to May 2022. Why did it postpone? I will tell you while reading out this. First of all, let me tell you what is FINA. FINA is Federation Internationale de Nation. It is a swimming world governing body. This is the body which governs the swimming in the entire world. That is FINA, that is Federation Internationale de Natation. It rescheduled the 2021 Fukuoka Aquatics World Championship to May 2022 to avoid a clash. Why did it postpone? To avoid a clash with the postponed Tokyo Olympics. The Tokyo Olympics will now be held in 2021. So this Fukuoka Aquatic World Championship has been postponed due to Olympics because the dates of both these games were clashing. The new dates for Aquatic World Championship in Japanese city are, the new dates are 13 May 29 2022, 13 to 29 May 2022. Now in Japanese city, this Fukuoka Aquatic World Championship will be held from 13 to 29 May 2022. Then FINA had to move the championship, I told you in earlier slide, because 2021 slot of 16 July to 1 August clashed with the new date of Tokyo Games. The Tokyo Games were to be held earlier in 2020, but due to COVID-19 pandemic, it has been shifted to 2022, and the dates of Tokyo Games have now been between 16 July to 1st August, which clashed with this aquatic championship, swimming championship, so the dates were shifted. Now the important takeaways of this current will be: President of FINA, it is Giulio C. Maglione. Then when was it FINA founded? It was founded on 29 July 1908. And then where is the headquarter of FINA located? It is located in Lausanne, Switzerland. Then World Hygienic Day, observed globally on 5 May. 5th May, it is known as the World Hand Hygienic Day. These days we are all very much concerned about our health, and we all must be knowing how to keep our hands healthy and hygienic. So 5th May is the day of World Hand Hygienic Day. World Hand Hygienic Day was first started in August 2008 at the annual World Water Week in Sweden. First of all, it started in August 2008 in Sweden. Then moving to our current affair now, the World Health Organization has marked 5 May as World Health Hygiene Day. This day is recognizing the role clean and safe hands. This day is there to recognize or to make us understand what is the role of clean and safe hands. It helps in avoiding many of the serious infections, many of the infections that can spread to our infectious and dirty hands. We all must be knowing the contaminated the food and water can cause various diseases. The names of the diseases, they can be typhoid also, because typhoid is spread through contaminated hands, contaminated food. So we must keep our hands clean so that we can be safe and keep our loved ones safe. So this World Hand Hygiene Day is also known as the Hand Hygienic Day. The theme of the campaign is Save Life. 2020 Hand Hygienic Day, the theme is Save Life, because these days due to COVID pandemic, these nurses and doctors, they are keeping themselves clean and making the patients just gear off that disease of COVID-19. Then the theme for 2020 has been decided as Save Life, Clean Your Hands. The second theme is Clean Your Hands. The main goal of global hand hygiene campaign is to recognize that hand washing is one of the most effective action you can take to reduce the spread of pathogens and prevent infections, including COVID-19 virus. I have told you earlier that the diseases like that is spread through contaminated food and water. These are the diseases that can spread if we do not wash our hands properly and keep soiled hands. So it has been necessary to wash our hands regularly to prevent the infections, including COVID-19 virus. Health workers and nurses and doctors and community members, they play a role in preventing infections by practicing regular and frequent hand washing. Then under the 2020 campaign, WHO and partners WHO along with its partners, they aim to make hand hygiene a global priority. They want to make that everyone in this, and each and every single person in this entire world should know the priority of washing hands. Hygiene and behavior change, engage with healthcare workers, their role in clean care and prevention of infections. The health workers, they should wash their hands properly because they play a very important role in prevention of infections. Then the important takeaway of this is Director General of WHO. Who is the Director General? It is Tedros Adhanom. Then where are the headquarters of WHO located? This is very important. It is very frequently asked in all the exams. It is Geneva, Switzerland. Then thank you. If you like our YouTube channel, then please subscribe it and share it as much as you like it. And that's all for today. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.